Okay, let's talk the Frankenchad. Let's talk accelerating dysfunction cycles. Um, so if you haven't cashed out the top, it means there's something wrong. It means there's some kind of delusion going on, and there becomes an acceleration of dysfunction and a growing of what I'll call the Frankenchad. So at 23, she's at peak value for her ability to attain a highest value man that she can attain, right? If that hasn't been done, it's usually because the father hasn't been there to help be the filter, to help, tell her when to settle down, really, or give her that guidance. She didn't trust him enough to get to take that guidance. She's been sucked into the narrative of Sex in the City, where you can just have a career and date around and just have fun and have your girlfriends and be married to uh, your girlfriends, basically. And it's no fun to have kids and blah 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 blah. Okay, so she can still have access to men beyond 23. That becomes less and less accessible. As far as relationship, right? Like women can still have intimacy, have bedroom friends, all into their 30s and 40s, right? All they want. But at the end of the day, when you want to talk about relationship material and access, that starts reducing at about 23. So you have a snowball effect, and how this happens is hypergamy dictates. So their genes want to constantly marry the highest status man. That's what their genes are telling them. The the amount of experiences they've had, the amount of sexual experience, relationship experience, etc. Like a lot of times they're like serial daters by 26, 28, etc. Like they're just mowing through dudes in whatever way, shape, or form. And what it is it's telling their conscious mind or subconscious mind, you get really excessive pickiness, right? Pickiness is understandable to a point because you basically got one shot to find a man that's going to be stable with you for the rest of your life and be a provider and protector, etc. So you're going to have a lot of discernment compared to what we can see and pick up on, what men can see and pick up on. That's understandable. That becomes dysfunctional once that becomes like, once they have a man that's 6'3", that's what they deserve, right? Once they have a man that's $1 million, that's what they deserve. On and on and on. What this is a Frankenstein of ghosts of boyfriends past, and we'll call it the Frankenchad. And you're having to compete more and more with the men you're seeing and dating and interacting with. And that not only can they not compare with a single man up here that you had in your 20s, they can't compete with the amalgamation of men that you've had in your early 20s or had exposure to, what you think you deserve or are entitled to. And so right now you have like 28 to 30, you have the simp swoop, right? So you'll find a man, lock it down, but always be haunted by the ghosts of boyfriends past, right? This is the Scott Fisher versus the World, whatever that movie was, but the Frankenchad. Really, you're competing with all the other men that she's been with. So it's not superficial why men want younger women, right? They don't want to deal with someone who's less attractive, less fertile. Biggest deal though is the Frankenchad. Whether they know it or not, or are they conscious of it or not, she still thinks she deserves the 10 when she's here. And so you have a compounding of dysfunction. You have increased anxiety because reduced access, reduced time. There's a deep sense. This is called the wall here at around 30. That anxiety compiled with the ghosts of the past. That is what kind of gets them. This is like where the devil sinks his hooks in. This kind of pressure can bust you out of that pattern, but more often it deepens it. There's 50% divorce rate around this period. Well, what is it? 30% first marriages divorced by 30 because she thinks she deserves better. Why? Because she's been with too many dudes and no single dude can compete with that. Or you weren't her first choice. So, basically, this is why you have in other cultures like the whole concept of throwaway women, because they're trying to humble them into not deepening the cycle and becoming a destruction of society. Because what happens? They become single moms. They create high promiscuity women. They create high prisoner population men. They wreck some working delta's finances. I mean, this is toxic feminism right here. And then beyond that, they get this to this point, and single beyond this, their chances of remaining single for life are 70%. That's what feminism got you. The decade of decadence and the lifetime of misery. And that's the situation many find themselves in. And, they've kind of made their bed, but, you kind of have to feel for them as well. I mean, if they got into this cycle, it means that there's something went wrong. So there it is. What you want to do with it, awareness is half the battle. All things are possible through God. So, stay frosty, stay aware of things, and try to break cycles, people.